Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Take on Tottenham. My name is Ben, and this is my take on Tottenham. I had to take a few minutes after the game, not for anything serious or anything. I just had to kind of compose myself because I was just kind of like, what have we just witnessed? Yeah, another dramatic ending to a game. Another whirlwind game under Antonio Conte. Another game that has passed where I'm fairly certain gonna need some form of like pacemaker or something just to double check everything's going on okay in there. It just happens a lot with my club. I remember wearing a little off tangent part here. I remember wearing the thing that measures your pulse, like the smartwatch thing on a smartwatch that does your pulse. I remember wearing one of those in the Ajax game, I think it was, and it peaked at about, I think it was like 120 or something like that, or 130 or something like that. I can't remember what it was, but it was pretty. This is what this team does to me. They create high blood pressure, sometimes for the right reasons, sometimes for the wrong reasons. But let's get into the game. So, Tottenham somehow. Manchester City 2, Tottenham 3, full-time result. I don't know. I just don't know where to begin. And strangely enough, even though I filled the pad, I really felt like I didn't write too much during the game. It was a game that had everything. It really was. It was just a good advert for the Premier League again, as was Tottenham's games. A game against Liverpool. I thought that was a cracking match. Like even for if you were watching it as a neutral, it would have been a great game. But I thought those sorts of games were wonderful advertisements for the Premier League, as was this. Let's get into the starting lineup, and then we'll fangirl in a minute. Sessegnon starting in on the left. No Reguilon at all. I don't know the reason why he was out, but no Reguilon at all, not even on the bench. Kulusevski and Bentancur start, which was quite nice to see. A bit of a change up from the really stagnant performances that we had against Southampton and Wolves. And I had a little side note of those games. I had a bit of I was thinking about those games more in the last couple of days about Spurs' performances in those games, but the lineups and more so hearing what other Spurs fans were saying about those performances, and in their eyes that we should be beating teams like Southampton and Wolves. No disrespect, but that's that would be the consensus. I've been really trying to actually look at it from a different perspective of who says that anyone should beat anybody in the Premier League. Look at Burnley today. They went to a Brighton team who've been very impressive in the league and won 3-0. The Premier League, it's such a unpredictable league, and anyone can beat anybody. Our Spurs proved today, because my God, I wrote them off. Go and watch how my video from last week ended. So there's no God-given right by any team that should be beating other teams, and I think having looked on it in reflection now, Southampton performing very well at the minute. They're really in a good moment. Ralph Hasenhüttl has got them well organised defensively. I said this in those videos, and they drew with Man City, and when they were slapping teams up. So Southampton, difficult match. Wolves as well, very difficult game. There's no easy games. So I just look back on those performances, and I'll pick fault with Spurs, but I don't think we should do any disservice to the opposition or anything. I think very tough games against two very well organised teams, and obviously those losses. I was very pessimistic going into this game. Of course I was. Any Spurs fan would have been. And if they weren't, they're lying. But and also with the team lineup, because like I said, I saw no Reguilon, I saw Sessegnon, and as I like Ryan Sessegnon, but I was like, oh God, this could be bad. Kulusevski, Bentancur obviously getting their starts, which is again, like I said, it's good to see it refreshed from those performances against Southampton and Wolves. Eric Dyer back, very much needed, very much needed. And you could tell. I know we conceded 2 goals, but you could tell there was a difference, and I really feel like him and Romero connect better in defence. And special shout out for Hugo Lloris, who it's his 400th appearance today for Spurs. That is just incredible. Great servant to the club. We'll get into his performance in the game in a minute, but it just brilliant from him. You know, he's been amazing this season. I know he had a really bad game against was it Wolves? Yeah, Wolves. But he's been really, really fantastic the last couple of years, in particular for Spurs, and just little congratulations for that milestone. Started off very well, very, very well. Against the run of play, Man City did start off strong. You know, they're very dominating in possession. Spurs, what a ball from Harry Kane. Kane picked the ball up. He sent Sonny on an amazing run. It was so perfectly timed. The run, the pass, the ball, everything. Sonny was running through, and it kept dragging out. It kept dragging out, and I was just like, I'm worried because Sonny's looked a little bit low on confidence last couple of weeks in terms of taking shots and chances and things. He's just not been like we know how he can be. And he kept holding on to the ball. Ederson started getting closer. He's holding on to the ball. So I was like, Sonny, just shoot. For God's sake, just smash it in. And somehow he just picked out Kulusevski, who ran up the side. And Kulusevski slotted it in. Was it Diaz? I can't remember who. Might have been Cancelo. Through his legs, and it would look like a really calm, collected finish. Very cool from Sonny, but my God, it had me worried. But yeah, really, really good stuff from him. Kulusevski, fantastic finish as well to keep himself so calm and composed during that. And yeah, it was really good to see. And I'm really happy for Kulusevski to get his first Spurs goal. He's only just signed, and it's really good to see him get an early goal. And I was very impressed with him today, but we'll get onto that later. Good start from Spurs, like I said, and then the inevitable. We're going to step back. We're going to allow Man City to sort of having a bit more of the ball, and it was kind of a tactic that worked throughout the game. We'll get into that as well, but. Spurs starting to get more penned in. They're really attacking a lot down their left, so our right-hand side. Emerson Royale, I felt was struggling. By no means his worst game in a Spurs shirt, but he was struggling. Cancelo was having a lot of joy down that left-hand side, as was Sterling at times. And Pep Guardiola, as much as I don't really care for him, but he's a world-class manager. He is, and he's one of the best, if not the best in the world, and he will have absolutely known that Spurs would have been weak on those sides, but in particular Emerson Royale struggling recently, so he absolutely would have known to target those Emerson Royale, and that showed. We were doing really good on the counter, and it was so reminiscent of some really good counter-attacking days under Jose Mourinho. Kane and Sonny linking up, Kane dropping deep, sending Sonny on those winding runs behind the defence, and Sonny's got the pace as well. It was really good to see that again, because it obviously worked for us for a long time. And it's good to see them linking up again. They had such a good relationship, during most of their time at Spurs, but especially last season. And yeah, I think that... it was really good to just see it again. It really, really was. Christian Romero defending very well. Very good game today. We'll get into the penalty later, but I thought he had a fantastic, fantastic game today. Really did a good job, and so good to have him back as well. Unfortunately, Spurs couldn't see out the half. They conceded. I'll pick fault with with Rodrigo Bentancur with this one first, because basically Man City, I think it was Sterling got the ball. He whips in a cross. Not, it wasn't a cross. It was kind of like he wasn't on like the near the corner flag or anything. It was sort of on the edge of the box, and he whipped the ball in that De Bruyne ran for, and Lloris went down for it and spilled it, and it came out, and it came back to Gundogan, who just, very good player, just slotted it in the goal. But my problem with it was that Bentancur was kind of allowing the space for Sterling to cross the ball in. He saw Sterling and didn't really go near him. He allowed him that time, and Sterling picked the ball out. A very good player, very in form at the minute. Picked a lovely cross for De Bruyne, and I think Lloris just should have done better. He should have smothered it more. So that's a Lloris error, unfortunately, on his 400th appearance. But I think those things can be cut out way before the Lloris error. I would have liked to see Bentancur deal with that better. So yeah, Man City got their goal, and at that point, really, second half, we're going second half, and it was kind of the same again. Started off getting penned in from Manchester City. Bentancur, I felt, was kind of struggling to keep the ball for a little period in the second half. He was not having much joy, and somehow Spurs then just did what they did in the first half. When got them on the break again. Kane and Sonny linking up. It was a great run from deep from Kane. Like, if you watch his run, Sonny picking him out, a really, really good ball, and Kane just brilliant striker's finish. Really, really good finish, straight past Ederson. So really good. Kane nearly made it 3-1 as well. A fantastic save from Ederson. You watch it on the replay, you just wish Kane had just slotted it on the other side. It would have been going in, but really great save from Ederson. And then I thought we had the goal. It was ruled out for offside, and rightfully so, VAR. I didn't think it was at the time, but it was a really great finish. Nevertheless, and it was the ball from Ben Davies to pick out Kulusevski on the far side, who came in, took the shot, and it fell to Kane eventually, who shot it past Ederson. It was a really good goal from Spurs, really nice move. The ball from Ben Davies deserved more praise, but obviously offside didn't matter in the end. And then we got the penalty, 90th minute, 7 minutes added on as well. Got the penalty. Obviously it doesn't matter in hindsight, but I thought, I can understand it's a penalty. It is a penalty. I'm not disputing it's a penalty. I just think it's one of those that is a bit harsh when you're sliding down. I admit it full on hit Romero's arm, but I just sort of think, how are you supposed to slide into a tackle without your arm sort of? I understand if someone's like that and they're rightfully so, but I don't know. I just sort of that sort of particular move. I saw Romero. Yeah, his arm's up here a bit. I don't know. I feel like you should really just start sliding in with your arms down like that and just go straight down. Like, I don't know. It's one of those, really. I don't know. I'm sure, like I said, I always say in videos, Man City fans will say it's a penalty, Spurs fans say it's harsh. Of course, that's how we do it. But yeah, I thought it was harsh, but the right decision. I thought it was, I've got to say, I don't usually like to pick things out like this, but I thought it was really bloody, I don't know, it just kind of frustrated me a bit watching all the Man City players and Pep going absolutely mental, surrounding the referee, trying to get Romero a second yellow. Like, come on. Oh, God. I thought it was, I don't like to see that personally. Of course, against my team, but I feel like if I'd seen that in a game that Spurs weren't playing, I still think it was kind of pathetic to watch. I don't know, that was just my opinion. I didn't like to see that. I wouldn't like to see my team doing it. I don't like to see players doing that. I didn't like it. And then we get to the dramatic finish. Oh my God. So, I didn't really write much either. I wrote goal, Kulusevski, Kane, header. That's all I wrote because I kind of threw the notepad away, I think. Yeah, brilliant move from, I think it was Lucas Moura, potentially. I can't remember who picked out Kulusevski, who put in a lovely ball for Kane, who headed it down. And brilliant finish from Harry Kane in the 95th minute when it really looked like once Man City had their goal that we were going to be on the back foot. It was going to be like, right, we'll take the point. And I'm fairly certain if you'd offered any Spurs fans a point at the start of the game, they would have snatched a hand off for it. Yeah, brilliant. And again, as I have to say, and I've praised it even in defeat at times, Spurs' mentality of not just settling for the point and then trying to, they did it against Leicester. They did it against Southampton, even though the late goal that they equalised with was ruled out. They still had that mindset of getting the ball out of the net in the 94th minute, going back to the centre circle like they did against Leicester. And Spurs, I know it's a different circumstance here, but Spurs did, they still went for it. And I did sort of say a little, I don't know, like a sort of like a, I don't know how to say it now, like a literally every word has escaped my mind all of a sudden. Like a pretext, is that a word? Like a preemptive thing for the winner was that I looked at Spurs going forward. I was like, come on, you could have these. Like, come on, we've had a bit of luck getting through the defence today. We can actually maybe try and nick this. And then lo and behold, Harry Kane stuck his head on it and scored, which was fantastic. Look, what can I say? Players that stood out for me. Let's start from the back. So Hugo Lloris made an error today, granted, but he made some cracking saves today, and one of the best ones I thought was against Gundogan. He went literally top right, FIFA, R1 button, finesse, top corner, everything, and literally Hugo full stretch. Managed to tip it around the post. Brilliant save from Lloris. Christian Romero, fantastic game. I know he conceded the penalty, but it was a brilliant game from him. He was so solid today. Yeah, putting in amazing tackles, really dealing well with Man City's amazing attack, we have to say. Kulusevski, I was so impressed with him, and if Kane hadn't had the game he had, I would have said man of the match for Kulusevski. I thought he didn't stop running the whole game, was a threat every time he got on the ball, had pace, he whipping in crosses, whipped in the cross for Kane for the winner. So thought, and obviously took his goal very well as well. Sonny, brilliant, running a lot. I still think there's that air of his confidence is not 100% there. I don't know why. He got a couple of assists today, I think, but it was one of those that I think, he not 100%, but really good performance. But Harry Kane in particular, man of the match, hands down. The headlines would be about him because of the Man City speculation, of course. But to me, that is a prime Kane performance. That was a Kane masterclass. It was just everything that you want from Harry Kane, and not just the goals. He took every goal, even the disallowed goal, well. His passing, his vision, his things that I really feel get so undervalued with Kane's game is his passing. I say it in a lot of my videos. That his passing is, when he's on point, like when he's on it, his passing. Like, it's like watching Toby Alderweireld in his prime picking out passes from the back to Kane or Dele back in the day. So, Kane was phenomenal today. Man of the match by a country mile, and fully deserved of it. Back to his best, we will have to obviously wait and see. We need to obviously see it every single week, but absolutely, this performance back to his best. That's what we want to see from Harry Kane. That's what he's capable of, and he's controlled the game. He's changed the game, and like I said, it's not just his scoring; it's his distribution as well. So, and I really, honestly, if you can get a chance to go and see how he passes the ball, he drops back, he looks everywhere where a pass is available, and he manages to pick the man out. And I just think it's such an underrated thing that not many people talk about. So yeah. Really good. We're back in action against Burnley on the 23rd, which is either Tuesday or Wednesday. I think it's Wednesday. It might be Tuesday. I don't know. No, Wednesday. Wednesday, yes. And how the table lies. So we are 3 points off fifth because West Ham drew today. So we're 3 points off fifth with 3 games in hand on West Ham, and we are 4 points off fourth with 2 games in hand over Man United. So still all to do. Arsenal won today as well, so very important to get a win today. I wouldn't have thought we would have, but here we are. So really big game, big result in terms of the top four in terms of Spurs. But if you're a Premier League fan in general, big result in terms of the title race as well, because Liverpool have a game in hand and they still have Man City to play. So yeah, if there is a title race, Premier League, you're welcome. But yeah, obviously I'm more focused on Spurs and how they do. So yeah, really good game, really great performance, and Conte manages to do it again. Just need more of it. Less of the stagnant performances like last week. You need more of this. So yeah, really good from Spurs. Let me know what you thought about the game in the comments section, and how was your heart rate after all of that. Let me know in the comments. If you haven't already, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And as always, oh yeah, it's in the middle of my shirt this time. Come on, you Spurs.